Well, the CDC previously coming out saying unvaccinated people should not travel over Labor Day weekend. President Biden also promised to shut down the virus. Remember this?
I'm not going to shut down the economy. I'm going to shut down the virus.
But now we're seeing more cases this Labor Day compared to last year. Take a look at this graphic comparing this year's increase to last year. Even with vaccines available, cases matter, don't they? When will this end? Let's bring in Melanie, Collette, and Amy Tarkanian for their thoughts. Melanie, you know, an increase in numbers, but yet more people are vaccinated. What do you make of that?
I hate to say this because I'm tired of wearing a mask, but I think that it's probably because we're not doing as much masking and social distancing as we did last summer. I was just discussing this with someone earlier today. We were talking about why the numbers are so much higher. And by the way, I think we were also told that in the summertime, because of the heat, that it was supposed that the virus was supposed to be less transmissible, and you don't see that happening today. So I think that it's probably because we weren't masking and we're not social distancing. And I also think there's a bit of fatigue going on among just everyone is tired of it, and they're just kind of out having a good time.
Yeah. Did you see the video of the college football games over the weekend? Yeah, Amy, I think you probably did for sure. I mean, they're over it for sure, like Melanie said.
Sure, and it looked phenomenal, and it looked like they were having a blast, and good for them. They're now saying that it's roughly 62% of Americans have at least received one dose. And still, despite that, they are now also reporting that there's roughly 166,000 per day that have been reported as having COVID here in the last 7 days alone. I disagree with Melanie, in fact, with the whole mask situation, because I have mentioned I have a daughter who attends the University of Hawaii, and they are very strict. There is a number of things that you have to have accomplished before you can even step foot off the plane onto the island. And one of them is constantly wearing a mask, along with showing possibly your proof of vaccination if you have that done, along with a negative test. Still, with all of that in place, I had a breakthrough case, and so did my husband. And guess where we contracted it? In Hawaii.
Wow.
So still, all of those rules and regulations put into place, and they're considering going back onto a lockdown as we speak. It didn't work.
Man.
I think that's the thing that bothers me. Also, from the very beginning, I have felt that especially small businesses have been penalized. The big box stores did great. Wall Street did great.
Yeah.
You know, you can go to Costco, but you can't go to mom and pop hardware store. And these restaurant owners that were forced to shut down, shutting down. There are all kinds of tools we have out there to deal with this, right? We do have masks, we do have vaccines, we do have medications. So can we get on with it?
And what businesses benefited? Amazon, because we were all sitting at home ordering everything.
Zoom. That's done well.
Zoom for sure.
And if I could, I want to point out, I mean, we're really missing an opportunity to educate people. Why are we not focused on teaching the nation how to make healthier choices with their food, how to maybe exercise and take your dog for a walk instead of rewarding people by getting a job and you get a donut or a hamburger or free sodas or whatever it may be. It seems that it's counterproductive. I actually hopped on a Twitter space conversation about a week ago with the U.S. Surgeon General, and I thought, wow, this is going to be wonderful. I'll get to learn something about the booster shots. No, they took 2 questions. I had raised my hand, you know, so to speak, and they didn't take my question. All they did was they had propaganda. 1 question just dealt with mandating the vaccines in the school districts, and the second one was from an OBGYN stating that it was safe for people who were pregnant. She said pregnant people. So it was propaganda, and I learned nothing.
Like birthing people? Yes.
Yes.
You know, Melanie, I was thinking also over the weekend, we live in a society where someone like Joe Rogan, people are wishing him to remain ill and to get more ill because he doesn't agree in mandating vaccines and that type of thing, and has been doing alternative therapies.
Right. Last
I
word.
don't understand
Somebody on
why in
Twitter
the
for
world
telling
somebody would.
it to
I don't
die.
understand why somebody would wish someone to get to have COVID, wish someone death just because you disagree
know.
ideologically with
Right.
someone's stance on something. I don't agree with the mandates either. I think we live in a free country supposedly, and we should be able to make these decisions for ourselves, our health decisions for ourselves. The masking, you don't inject it into your body, so I don't really object to the masking quite as much as I do object to mandating the vaccine.
Okay.
Vaccine, I have a really big problem with.
Yeah, and we had a guest earlier, a nurse that didn't want to get it. And if you get rid of all the nurses in the country, there's not going to be anybody to take care of the sick people. So, Melanie, Collette, Amy Tarkanian, thank you so much for being with us today on American Agenda. And that's all for us on American Agenda. But we hope to see you here tomorrow, 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern. But before we go, we want to wish the Jewish community that watches us a Happy New Year, Rosh Hashanah. So from everyone here at Newsmax, Shana Tova.